Hello everyone, I am Melanie Jongsma, publisher of the Lansing Journal, sitting here with Carole Sharwarko, our managing editor. And we want to give you an update today on our 2025 voter guide. This is the third time that the Lansing Journal has put together a voter guide for Lansing residents. And this year's is our most comprehensive ever.
It's exciting.
It is. There's a lot going on. This is a product that will be produced in print and online.
This is the voter guide from 2023, and it brings you these really handy bios on all the candidates that are in the races that are local to you.
Exactly. The print edition will be mailed to every residential address in Lansing. The online edition will be emailed as part of our daily news email, and it will live on our website. And the reason we do a voter guide every election year is because it fulfills our mission of keeping our community informed and connected. We know it can be difficult to find information about all of the candidates. You know, we have almost 80 candidates in at least 12 different races that impact Lansing. And only the Lansing Journal pulls that all together for Lansing residents so that they can be prepared for Election Day. That is the process that we're in right now. It is not going smoothly.
Sometimes that happens, but you know, we're going through the pains of collecting all of this information for Lansing residents and those who live in the area so that you don't have to.
Because it's hard.
We're putting all of this information in one place to help you compare candidates, understand who's on your ballot. You can even take the voter guide into the polling place with you, use it to vote. You can look on your phone. You're allowed to do those things while you're voting. And this will be one of the only sources that will collect all of this information, especially for Lansing residents.
So we want to make sure that if you live in Lansing especially, go ahead and subscribe to the Daily News right now. We're going to put a link in the description. Go ahead and subscribe. The Daily News is free. Anybody can subscribe, and it's especially important this time of year with so much going on in our local elections, and we would love to have you join us as a reader.
It's really easy to subscribe. It's just a couple of questions. We don't send any spam email. We're not putting you on any other lists.
Yep.
It's solely for the purpose of delivering this information to you every day. You won't have to go looking for it. It'll be delivered right to your inbox.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the work that you've been doing, Melanie, to collect some of this information and share with us the challenges that are presented.
Yeah, this year is more complicated than previous years. Part of that is because of everything going on in Thornton Township. Townships only have elections every 4 years. Every 4 years, the whole board of a township, their term expires and they have to be reelected. The whole board at once. So the last time we had to do this was 2021. And at that time, Frank Zuccarelli was in office in Thornton Township. I believe he was uncontested. So he and his whole board were just reelected. And, you know, there was not a lot of controversy surrounding that.
This year, we know there's a lot of controversy surrounding that. Because of everything going on in Thornton Township with Supervisor Tiffany Henyard and shakeups on the Board of Trustees. We have quite a lot of candidates in Thornton Township. How many do we have, Melanie?
We have about 20.
So that's a lot of information, a lot of personalities, a lot of backgrounds for voters to look into. So what we do, tell the voters what we do to break it down a little bit and help them out.
Right, it's 20 candidates, and that includes, I think right now there are 4 supervisor candidates. There are clerk candidates and assessor candidates, and we have, 16 trustee candidates, not 16, and highway commissioner. All of those positions are being re-elected this year, and we have at least 3 different parties running who have submitted candidates for those positions. So there's a lot going on, and none of it is finalized yet. Carole's been sitting in on some of the objection hearings, and that's caused a delay. That's why the information is not on the Cook County website yet.
Right. So typically what we see during an election cycle is candidates submit their candidacy to the Cook County clerk. They submit it to the local municipality, and then it's submitted to the Cook County clerk, which that office takes that information and posts it online. So you know who the candidate is, you know what their mailing address is. That's available to voters, to members of the media, so that they can start doing some research and learning about these candidates. Usually, all of that information would be online by now for us to start contacting candidates, collecting information about them. That has not happened this year.
Some of it is there, not all
Not
of it.
all of it. As Melanie mentioned, we're still waiting on quite a bit of it. The ballot is not completely settled yet. So this is very late into the election cycle that this is getting pushed. And it's making it a bit of a challenge to collect some of this information. So what Melanie has been doing is collecting it in different ways.
Yeah, and I really hate doing that. It feels very piecemeal, and I don't like to be piecemeal. But we're doing what we can. The school board information has been posted to the Cook County website, and there are 5 school districts that impact Lansing. So we have that list of names. We have some of those email addresses. I have reached out in some way to all of the candidates in all 5 of those school board races. I have not heard back from many of them. So that's a process. Just keeping track of who I've contacted and who I haven't, who's responded and who hasn't. It's a lot of follow-up.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on with just the 5 school board races. If you are a school board candidate, please reply to if I've sent you a Facebook message, if I've sent you a letter. I did mail some letters to people to try and get their email address. All we need is your name and your email address so that we can send you a survey link.
Yeah.
We're emailing surveys to all of the candidates. It's the same survey for every candidate because we want people to be able to compare the same information across all the races.
Right. So if you are a candidate in any of these races or you know a candidate, we are going to have a dedicated link in the description of this video. So go ahead and click on that, check it out. We'll get in touch with you and be able to collect some of this information. You can fill out our survey. It's relatively simple. It's not going to take hours and hours to fill out. These are things as a candidate that you've thought of before already. We just need those email addresses because even though it's the year 2025, the Cook County clerk does not collect an email address from the candidates, just a home physical address. So what Melanie has done is done some investigative work online and locating email addresses that are public for some of these candidates, trying to reach them there. Like she said, sending Facebook messages, kind of going at it that way to collect as much information as possible. And so it's really, it's been challenging, but I know you're ticking them off one by one, Melanie.
To those of you who have responded, thank you. The profiles look great online. We're using a new system for displaying the information online that's going to be very convenient for our voters, for people who visit our website. You'll be able to compare them online much easier than last year when we put them in an article that you had to scroll through. So I think you'll like the new system. Thank you to those of you who have responded already. It's hard to show people a sample of what that's going to look like until we get at least one race complete that we can go ahead and publish live. So please, if you are a candidate, respond to the survey link that I sent you. Or give me your email address if you haven't heard from me yet.
Right. So as Melanie said, as these races, we get surveys for all of the candidates in any one race. We'll be publishing them on our website. And then throughout the entire election season, we'll also have other information about voting, how to vote, where to vote, about the elections in general, things that are affecting them. As Melanie said, I'm covering some candidate objections for Thornton Township. I'll be over there tomorrow, and we'll probably get decisions. We should get decisions on some of those candidates, if not all of them, so that ballot can get finalized. So I'll have a story about that as well, and show you who's on the ballot, if anyone got knocked off the ballot, and getting excited for this election season, though. It promises to be an interesting one.
Yeah, these are very important times for our community. There's a lot going on, and we know that a lot of you are following it or trying to follow it. It is confusing. It is chaotic. And so we are working hard to bring as much clear, helpful information as possible to our community so that you can be equipped to vote well. Whoever you vote for, we want you to know the names. We want you to know their background. We just want you to feel confident when you vote on April 1. April 1 is election day. Early voting starts sometime in March.
March 17.
We want you to have the information you need to be involved in the community, to be connected with your community. So stay connected with us, because we're helping you connect with the community, connect with your candidates, and it's a lot of work, but we know it's worth it.
Absolutely worth it. So be sure, if you're a reader and a voter who wants to get that daily email, if you're not already subscribed to the Lansing Journal, please do so. Click the link in the description of this video. And again, if you're a candidate, please let us know. If you're wondering whether you're going to be in the voter guide, you need to be in this guide. It's a beautiful piece that's mailed to every home and also online. So click the link that's dedicated just for you as a candidate. Connect with us and we'll send that survey to you.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks, everyone.